All right, this is Rhonda Liebig, and welcome to 3 steps to get your metabolism ignited. Very interesting stuff. I'm really excited to share it with you. And the reason why this is important is because if your metabolism is not ignited, there are other things going on. So in our discussion today, you are going to be able to learn stuff about your personal journey, things that are going to help you get unstuck. And I'm really excited to share this information. On the top left, you're going to see that I have a beta launch that I'm doing currently right now on my Fit Camp. And the stuff that we are going to talk about today is stuff that I usually do in a 2-day jump start that really gets you fired up in the knowledge that you're going to learn about yourself and the information that you're going to be able to apply that's affecting you right now. As a health coach, I do not discuss one specific diet, but I guide you in your journey, and that's what it's all about today. So we're going to talk about stats so we can kind of get our motivation, our mojo, and why we're wanting to make these changes, not just for the beauty factor. And you may see some of the stuff that I say out there about your sexy jeans and sexy, and to me, that's really everything coming together in the way we feel as women, in everything just is lined up. And that's what the sexy is to me. So I've heard other people maybe misinterpret that. So kind of put that in your soul and think about what that means when everything comes together, that strength, that feeling. And that to me equals sexy, but it may mean something for you. It's all about igniting. So today's May 22nd. We're 12 Pacific time, and let's get it rocking. I did a little grid here for you because I want you to know, like, what are you going to be getting in this webinar? So the first thing, before we even look at this grid, I'm hoping that you already pulled down your body roadmap, which will give you some ideas of foods that you should be eating. And how we gain our weight just explains what's happening internally in our body. And through my background, when you're working with me, I get more in depth in talking about circulation and your organs and different things that are happening. But just add a front, when you look at the body and the way that the grid works for the roadmap that I gave you, it gives you some ideas if you're clogged in different areas in your system. And then it gives you foods, the types of foods you can be eating to declog if you have bigger legs or if you gain weight all over the place. Whatever that is, where you feel like you really get stuck. I have foods in there for you, and then I have recipes. And that links directly to my website. I support people with lifestyle and the whole gamut because all of that is very important. So today we're going to start off right away in the why. Why are we here? And I want to answer that question for you. I already know you have your reason, and I'm going to hopefully fulfill everything of the reason why you're here with me. Our time is so important, and I really appreciate your 1 hour of spending time with me here. If you can't stay on the full time, you're going to see a website on each slide. The same website. I want you to go to that link and take a check on that. This will also be on my YouTube channel. It's going on live right now, and then you can also watch it in replay if you need to get more information. But I would love for you to be here for your full 60 minutes. If it is your lunchtime, hopefully you have plenty of water and you've already eaten some lunch, so let's get rocking. So about 20% is the why, because it's really important to give you a background there. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story so you know, why am I even following Rhonda Liebig? Should I even think that she's an expert? So I want you to be able to get to know me. I'm going to work on the 3 tips that we talked about, and this is going to be educational. Let's don't make this generic. Let's talk about why this is really important to you and why it's important to me to get this information to you. Of course, I'm going to give you some ideas of how you can work with me. So specifically, we're talking about all this information I've been giving out about being able to look at your body and how you're carrying your weight and where you're aging can really help with declogging your body. And again, that's the Fit Camp that I have going now. So we'll talk more about that at the end and just get you really focused in on how I'm going to be able to help you today. The why, really important here. First thing is, us as women, it's so important that we feel good about ourselves inside and out. The hard part is when we are thinking about our insides and not having everything lined up emotionally and feeling good about ourselves, you're going to find that it's going to be hard to make some changes. So I'm going to give you some really good information, but I'm also going to give you some lifestyle tips to help you balance things. And I have to stop for a second because if you hear the birds in the background, I'm in sunny California. It's about 90, coming on 90 degrees today, and I'm in a screen room where that's where I get my motivation. And so that's one of my lifestyle things, is trying to find beauty in the areas that I'm in. And so I just had to pause because I feel like I'm speaking over the birds. And so you're going to have a nice little background of birds playing around, and there's lots of baby birds around here. So if you hear that, that's what's going on. Healthcare is rising. So let's go into the why. And these numbers you may have seen, and what does it mean? So I want to really get into that because the way that our healthcare industry and everything is happening right now, there's so many big changes going on. And you're going to see from 1990, 714 billion was basically paid into healthcare, and it keeps rising, and we're up into the trillions estimated by 2017. Now, without really getting into those numbers, but just kind of feeling how robust that feels in the numbers and the amount of money that we're spending, that really actually is telling us that not just that the healthcare is being costly, but what's really important and why that's becoming very costly is because we are getting sicker. 50% of us at this point in the latest research I've been looking at have some kind of chronic disease, so it's going up to 50%. And the reason why is because we're in such a hurry. You know, we're in a hurry, or we're eating packaged foods. I have a client, and it's typical of us women when we get overly busy, is that some of our old sabotages come back, and then we really start hurting our body. So we may do some things here and there that we know it is really hurting us. And it could be like, you know, drinking caffeine and drinking too much of it and your body not feeling good, but still doing it because you're overly stressed and you think that's what's going to get you through your day. So, you know, I understand that there's the day-to-day stuff, but what we're going to do today is kind of shift you and step you off to the side where you can kind of step away from the regular day-to-day stuff and really relax and just really kind of get this momentum going. So let's get away from this chronic disease. But they're really focusing on the lifestyle too. And as a health coach, that's what I really focus in on, because stress really changes your DNA, and stress really makes you feel cruddy inside. So this is a projection here of what's happening from 2003 to 2023. So let's say, you know, within 20 years, this range. Cancer is supposed to increase by 62%, mental disorders 54%, diabetes 53%, and heart disease, and so on and so on. What this means is that we're really affecting our body in the way that we're eating. I am going to be having some specialists that are going to be coming in virtually to support people as members and clients that I have currently, and they really specifically talk about lifestyle and the foods you're eating. So it's not just the food, but we're talking about metabolism, we're talking about igniting stuff, but what that really comes down to is how are you taking care of yourself? So we're going to get into that. I'm really excited, but let's get into what my story is so you can kind of get to know me. If you haven't been following me for too long, my name is Rhonda Liebig, and I have been in the health industry for over 15 years. At the top right, you'll see that I've been releasing these videos that are tools that we're going to be using today. And I've talked a lot about false fat because our bodies will expand really fast sometimes. And it may be something related with a food allergy that you have. And this just happens. This happens when we are eating packaged foods, or if we're eating a whole food that is truly affecting our body and our body's not able to digest it. Second video, you can't really see the doggy there, but there's a doggy that's slumped over, and I'm talking about are you having some of the symptoms I'm having, which is, we're going to go into that list. There's like 16 of those 16 of these different symptoms that you can have. And in here, I talk about out of the 16, I had 15 of them before I really lined everything up. In my third video, I really talk about what your bold health goal is. So in these video series, and get ready to release the fourth one, today is really what I'm going to be teaching in the fourth video that's going to be released by the end of this week. I am an author, and it's called The Fit Solution: 4 Steps to a Sexy, Successful, Authentic You. Fit is really the 4 steps: focus, integrate, transform, and thrive. So you'll see the fit with the double T. That is the process I'm going to be bringing you through, because I really want you to get the excitement of the change that you need so that you can really ignite the metabolism. But I also want you to feel like you have the capacity to add this into your lifestyle. And sometimes when we get a little overwhelmed, we think we don't have that space. So through the fit process today, I want to help you get your focus and give yourself a moment to breathe and kind of add these new tips in, because I want you to leave here ready to make changes. And they're going to be simple ones, because every simple adjustment makes big, big changes. Through the media, I've been able to coach people in how to do, little things here and there to really make changes in their life. So you'll see me on Fox 40. I've been on Blog Talk. I've been featured in blogs. Just anything and everything you can think of. There's so much information out there and people that are doing stuff on the internet. I've been deemed as an expert when it comes to really being able to be a #1 best-selling author. So a lot of the process that I did in getting the Fit Solution up to #1 on Amazon, it's just really in our life is just being really tenacious in what your extreme focus is. And so that's where I'm going to direct you today. That's the way that I deal with things. And you do it in a calm and really precise way. So I can't wait to really share this with you today. Next to the Fox 40 on the right, you're going to see this woman with a face that really shows that the way that our body works, that I've been able to really specialize and focus in on the way we're aging and what's happening, to be able to connect with how you're feeling internally, and then also being able to change those foods and change up a little bit of the lifestyle. On the bottom of that, you have the bodies that you saw in your download, and so that again helps you with knowing about where you're getting clogged into your system. If you haven't purchased my book, hopefully at some point you will, because it's 15 years in the making. It's been a wonderful experience. But Bernie Siegel is a man that read through my book, and he really supported it, and this is what he had to say. Women need to realize that they are to live their own authentic life and not just fulfill a role imposed upon them. Through her book, Fit, Rhonda can be your coach and help you to become the person you want to be and become your authentic self. If you haven't heard of Bernie Siegel, get my book. Listen to the download that of me interviewing him. It was an incredible process with finding these experts that wanted to support my book and being able to talk with them. So there's an interview with him once you download the book. Okay, so here we go with the symptoms. So we're starting into the next stage where I'm going to start really building how you're going to add some tips here. And the most important thing right now is focusing in on what's happening for you personally. So if you have a pen and a piece of paper, this will be more impactful for you. So I have 9 symptoms here on them, and flip it to the next slide. So get ready. Do you have any of these things happening? Fatigue. So that would be anything from the 3 p.m. slump to basically getting up in the morning and feeling anxious and feeling like you can't get started. Number 2, increased sensitivity to cold, constipation, dry skin, unexplained weight gain, puffy face, hoarseness, muscle weakness, elevated blood cholesterol level. Anything out of the 9, do you have any of that going on? Good question to ask, because this is where you start focusing in on what you need to do for yourself. Because usually we'll pick up a book or we'll read an article and it'll say, this is what you need to do to lose weight. But when you come and get help from me, you know what it is? I'm asking you questions so that we can unravel stuff, because everybody has their own DNA. From what your body looks like at this point, this is where your intention, this is what you have done for yourself, or maybe things you need to work on because you've been a little hard on your body. So these things are really important. Do you have any of these symptoms? I had every one of these except the elevated blood cholesterol level. So anything in there. The next are muscle aches, tenderness, and stiffness. So if you are finding that you have these issues that are happening, and they're not something that is normal. So you haven't been out working out or something like that, but you have like a lot of Charlie horses, and there's not really, and you're trying to figure out what that is. And say that you feel off balance. When you have consistent soreness, is something to be aware of, that something's happening. Pain, stiffness, or swelling in your joints. So that could even be arthritis. I have a client that has rheumatoid arthritis, and there's a lot of stuff with if your body's not balanced, and that would be if you're eating too much of this or that, which would be a lot of, if you're really heavy meat eater, sometimes that will really throw your body off if you don't balance it enough with the vegetables. Heavier than normal or regular menstrual periods. See, I'm talking about crazy stuff. We're talking about constipation today and menstrual cycles, of course, for women. Thinning of hair, slowed heart rate, depression, impaired memory. So the depression is important too, because what I haven't put up here is that I have a background of hypothyroid. And if you have something to that effect where you have something that's really slowing your body down, it is so easy to get in that moment of feeling ho-hum, nothing's going right, and not having an easy way to flip the switch, and you become in a state of depression. And I've been there, and it started when I was very young. So this is my journey also, is all these things that I'm sharing with you right now, with the fatigue, increased sensitivity, constipation, dry skin, unexplained weight gain, puffy face, hoarseness, muscle weakness, elevated blood cholesterol level, muscle aches, pain, stiffness, swelling in the joints, heavier periods, thinning hair, slowed heart rate, depression, impaired memory. So I had 15 symptoms out of the 16. If I'm overworking, if I am not taking the time to take care of myself, so finding balance, these symptoms will come back. So it's a constant review of what's going on. And if you're at a state right now where you're really deep into one of these, you're going to be in that point where you feel like, I don't have time to do any of this. I can't even fathom adding these tips that I'm going to give you. I know you're here, and I know you want the tips, but this is kind of your transition, your mindset that I'm helping you with, is that once your energy starts getting up, that you're going to have less of this feeling, less of the feeling of that I can't do things, or that and more of your hair will come back, especially in the front part of your head on the top. A lot of that has to do with the first tip I'm going to give you. So we're going to be talking about that. So here I am. I want to give you some solution and results, but I want you to focus in on taking some soothing breaths in and out, and being able to relax and allow yourself the moment now to be open and get out of the point of that I can't do this. And let's kind of lay that all aside, and let's bring it right in. The first person I want to bring up that has been working with the tips that I've been using is Samantha Person. And she has been a client for a little while. And it says, Rhonda has helped me with my transformation in so many ways. She's taught me to open to new possibilities that I would not have been open to before working with her. I am truly grateful to her for her positive coaching style and inquisitive attention to detail in my personal progress. Because of Rhonda's coaching style, I have learned to carry less guilt in how we are hard on ourselves as women. When I have had a misstep of fallen into my old habits. I have been able to move leaps and bounds in her plan and not been held back from the old feelings that never did me good, any good. I find that now I can connect deeper with my personal plan and feel more successful than ever before by using Rhonda's signature Fit 4 steps because of the basic process and well thought out approach. Thank you, Rhonda, for all your heart and soul that you have put into what you do. Wow, that is awesome, Samantha. Thank you very, very much. All right, here we are on our first tip. So what was I talking about at the front top part of your head? Well, it also has to do with under your eyes. It also has to do if your face gets swollen very easily, is kidneys. So let's focus on if you are having anything happening with under your eyes, and this can be ever so often, but I want you to look in the mirror, and when you wake up in the morning, what are you seeing? Are you having some extra puffiness? Is the puffiness maybe never going away? Or is it something that that you know when you are feeling stressed and you notice that the elasticity in your skin is a little bit off, like it just seems a little bit more loose, and that also the under your eyes is being has a little more puff to it? That's directly linked with your kidneys. And the reason why I've kept it on this slide right here, health for what's happening now versus old school, let's go a little bit in depth of why we're even looking at the face. So make sure you put some notes down here. First one was the symptoms that you're dealing with, and then right now focusing in on under your eyes. If you're losing weight on the top of your head, if your face is feeling loose and there's not a lot of elasticity in your face. Why this is important and why I'm calling this the health now versus old school. We have to go with the mind shift when we were talking about the stats of what's been happening in our health industry and talking about the different foods that are out there and how our body is really not digesting everything well. Because maybe it could be that, like, let's say, like wheat has been, has shifted from the way the plant used to look to how it looks now, because we're growing it in different types of soils, because we've genetically engineered some of our stuff so it grows faster and we have more plentiful stuff. So that is our understanding right now to keep our health in line with where we wanted to really keep the bloat down and the slim. And now first thing we're talking about right now is our kidneys. So the kidneys, it's very important to have clean food. And if you don't do that, right now we're looking at your face because it's a new school way of looking at things. It's starting to become more mainstream. If you're looking at the old way of doing it, you'd be asking me, Rhonda, what tip do I need right now, and put me on a diet right now. So what I'm asking from you is a new way of what's happening internally for you, and how is that going to make it different for you than the person that's sitting next to you. And this is where you're going to learn so much about yourself that you're going to feel like you have more control over what's happening for your personal self. And that you're not going to go on a diet to where you have extreme hunger pains and that you feel like that you have to go through that process and you feel like you're weak because you can't get through it. I have plans where you are going to be stepping into the tips I'm giving you, and you're going to feel stronger and stronger. You're going to be like Samantha, where she felt like every new step she did, she was learning more about herself, and she was learning that her old way of looking at how she was not doing things well and really challenging herself by saying, I can never do this because, bringing those old sabotages in, oh, that's just me. I just don't, I don't feel I can do this. I'm weak. Sometimes we tell ourselves that, and if I'm saying something that doesn't relate with what your sabotage is, step it into the voice that you have and what stops you from moving forward. Because Samantha had the same thing of stuff that I had, that other ladies like us have, is that we're very hard on ourselves. So let's wipe away the old school, and I'm going to get right into the kidney stuff, but I want you to think about that. Get away from the old sabotages. Be very aware of what you're doing, and that is the new way. Start adding these tips that I'm going to give you right now so that you can leave with me today and feel like you are on fire, ready to ignite it. Okay, so up here, this is what I want. I really want you to look at the list here on the top right. If you're having not just the under the eye swelling and the losing of the hair at the top of the head, or that your skin is loose, listen to the list here, because this will give you more of an indicator if you're having stuff going on with your kidneys. Passing only small amounts of urine, now that would be at an extreme stage, and if you're there, I want to make sure that you are working with your doctor and taking care of this, because that's a big sign that you're having some big kidney issues. Swelling, particularly of the ankles, and puffiness around the eyes, what we just talked about. Unpleasant taste in your mouth and a urine-like odor to the breath. Persistent fatigue or shortness of breath. So if you find yourself, you're kind of doing that and you're not breathing on a normal process. Loss of appetite. Increasing high blood pressure. Muscle cramps, especially in the legs, which we talked about. Pale skin. Anything in that area. And on here was the hair loss. It was the, you know what, also when kidneys aren't working well, things happen where fatty tissue just starts, fatty deposits just start happening in our body because of the circulation and with the kidneys not working well. And what can happen with kidneys is that what can happen is if you have thyroid stuff, like for me, I'm hypothyroid. So there's a direct link with having kidney issues. So you may see in some of my videos, if I'm off, you will definitely be able to call me on it. That under my eyes, if they're a little puffy, you know something's going on, because believe me, I don't live in perfection either, and I work very hard at this. But sometimes we get very busy in our day, in our life, and we get off our path here. So let me bring you back on. If you're drinking a lot, so this is alcohol, be very, very careful. Not drinking enough water, too much caffeine, and spices. So the spices would be more of an indicator if you have like a little bit darkness under the eyes. If that's been happening, you're eating a little too much spice. So how do we fix this? How is it, and how is it affecting our metabolism? So if you're feeling like you have all this stuff, listen closely. I'm going to give you a list of foods that help you, and I'm going to give you like 4 foods, so then you can add it to your grocery list, get it on there, and I'm going to give you a lifestyle adjustment so that you can start and step into something new, and you know why you're doing it. This affects your metabolism because the fatty deposits start happening in your body because your water is not circulating the way it should. Your kidney is an organ, it's a water organ, so it's affecting the circulation in your body also. So if you're having thyroid stuff, the thyroid slows a lot of stuff down because it has every cell in your body needs the thyroid. And if it doesn't have that hormone in it, then everything out of all those 16 symptoms, you may even have more than just the 16 symptoms, can happen. And if you're dealing just specifically with your kidney, not the thyroid, if the kidney's not working, that means your circulation's not working and the water's not cycling through your body, and this is how things get stuck. If you're taking supplements, if you're doing anything that you feel like you're doing good for your body, sometimes it's not going to get wrapped into your body in a good way. So we're going to, for your foods, for your kidney, you're going to be adding these things. If there's something that you really, really like, make sure you add it to your grocery list. So let's start getting your master grocery list together. Red bell peppers, because of the color. The red in there is the secret. Garlic, onions, apples. My children and I and my husband, we have at least an apple a day with the fiber, and then also has a lot of water in there. Berries. You know, berries across the board is something to always have good in your diet. Apple cider vinegar is an incredible one that's even good for your heart. I mean, it goes across the board good. Now, for the lifestyle, why I chose for you to take 2 breaths is Maybe you're running around a lot and your body's getting a little tired, especially if you have any of those symptoms and the 16 symptoms that I brought up. So I want you to take your breaths and really focus, because doesn't that sound pretty obvious for some of you? And you're thinking, well, that's just so easy. But if you think about it, we spend most of our day maybe hyperventilating or shallow breathing, and it can build up, especially if we have a very busy day. I think all of us are extremely busy. And so take those moments. And my tip, an additional tip on this, the bonus really is that set your watch, set your timer if you're on your computer, to literally tell yourself to stop and take those 2 breaths. If you don't, you're going to forget this tip very easily, because you'll fall right back into your old habits. And that's what I find with my clients. The sessions will go really good. We'll be talking about certain things, and bam, they'll leave and they'll forget to implement stuff. So there's always the follow-up. So this is how I'm working you through this fit process, is that the last part is really how are you going to fit it in. Let's get it on the calendar. Let's have a timer somewhere to remind you. You're going to stop, relax your shoulders, roll them back, stomach in strong, and really feel the ribs expand. Really get into it. All right, so that's this lifestyle. You know what? Listen to your body. Listen to your body. Allow your body to be the voice, what you're going to be hearing, what you need to do. Mary's been working with me for a while. She's also a business owner. I wanted to share some time with talking about her too. Mary Egan's a really interesting woman. I'm enjoying working with her too. Working with Rhonda over the past year has given me the serenity and confidence to grow my business with an additional 7 new staff members. I was just talking to her yesterday, and she's consistently adding those new people into her business because it has grown like crazy. I owe a lot of work that I have done with Rhonda to my business success and development. So the development with us is that she's focused on what is driving her. She's focusing in on her health and her balance. And sometimes when you are in overdrive and you're really a person that is consistently striving for bigger and bigger things, we can overlook some of the life balance tools. And so what Mary's been able to do is really implement yoga. Yoga's been a big deal for her, and that's how the serenity and the confidence came in. Is that to have a coach like me to give her that sounding board that she needs, because sometimes we can go a little crazy when it comes to what's working for us and what's not working for us. So thank you, Mary, for that. Chin breakouts. Oh, this is so important. This has to do with hormonal shifts, and this also has to do sometimes, and I want to bring this up. I didn't put it in the slide here, but if you have a forehead that has kind of like a little bit more puffed out, most likely you have fibroids, and fibroids can be really affected with your estrogen and progesterone. So when you have these hormonal fluctuations, you're also going to have these can be connected, or it can be that you have one or the other. But you really want to focus in on those breakouts around your chin area. If you don't have your hormones balanced, then you are going to find that it's going to be very difficult to take care of your face. So a lot of the times we've really focused on the outside of our skin and what it's doing. But let's go to new school and think about what lifestyle that you need, what type of lifestyle will help balance that, and then also what foods, because with this right here, it's not just hormonal, but it's also talking about the fatty deposits that happen in your body. And if you do have your hormones out of balance, there's another hormone that really pumps up your midsection, and you really want to keep that down, because that's when you start dealing with stuff with your heart and the pressure in your stomach from the stomach getting bigger and the pressure, the compression there. You want to add the ginger. If you are dealing with the stuff that's happening with the inflammation, I'm going to give you another one too, and it's going to come in the next tip. But the ginger is really going to balance the hormones, because when we have a lot of inflammation, our cells get very, very toxic, and we want to bring that down. We want to just mellow the body out And this is the best way to do it. So if you haven't really used ginger before, I give you 3 ideas here. Sassy water is the first one. You can really just Google sassy water. It's a really easy one to find because it's really popular. And if you have midsection bloats, the sassy water will help you. It has mint in there. It has ginger. It has cucumber. And cucumber is like an alkaline because your body can get really acidic and toxic. So the cucumber will help balance that. So the sassy water has ginger in there, and it'll help with the inflammation. If you have an upset stomach, it's a great way to balance your stomach, but it's also going to calm your hormones. It'll calm your cortisol, and it's going to give you a kung pao big chop right into the metabolism. Let's get the bloat down and get that focus of what's happening internally so we can get the metabolism just jumping. Also, you can add ginger into dressings. Make sure that you use these. Make your fresh dressings. Don't think about going and buying your dressings because there's all these different things that they have in dressings that are really can affect your bloat and also affect just that. Usually, there's something in there like trans fats and stuff like that. Even though it says 0 trans fat, you'll find monosaturated stuff, mono something. Well, there's still trans fat and stuff, but if it says 0%, it means it's lower than 0%. But even, so you'll be maybe like a 0.05 or whatever, but what happens is if you have even something little trace of it, it can affect your body because think of your body as a chemistry lab. Also, you can use ginger in a marinade. So if you are a meat eater, add it in with your marinade and let that ginger really sit on the meat and it'll help with that. Now your lifestyle shift is why don't you increase your cardiovascular? Let's get the circulation going. Let's get the hormones really flowing through and extracting out of your body. Hormones can fit into a cycle that goes in a circle. It'll go right through your digestive tract, right into your liver, into your bloodstream, and keep cycling back and forth. If you keep yourself out of balance and not taking care of, doing the cardiovascular and doing workouts and really adding this ginger, there's not a way to really start flushing the hormones out of your body. So these 2 tips within this tip is very vital to getting that metabolism just bamming. Let's get right into the next tip because this one is something that I've been seeing a lot lately, and it's not just in young people. I've been seeing it in adults lately too, and the full face breakouts is related with your lower digestive tract. So the lower digestive tract is the bigger part of your digestive tract when it comes to what really sits in your body for a while. On the list that we talked about, the top 16 of symptoms, there was something in there, the constipation. And if stuff sits in your lower digestive tract, that's usually where it sits, then things get really toxic. And the thing you're going to see in the next slide is the foods that you should not be having. So I'm going to give you some foods that you should be having, and I'll give you some more information about what these full face breakouts are. But think about when you have dairy, or if you have something that your body does not digest well, then you also have constipation issues. Things start happening in your lower digestive tract. That allows it just to sit in there, and it is not very good. Makes your body become even more toxic. It can actually feed more toxins into your body because that lower part of the digestive tract is there for you to get your last nutrients that when it was going through your smaller intestine, it only worked it so much, and so the last part is to get the last nutrients. If it sits there, then it has more time to just sit and not do what it should be doing, is now getting the waste out of your body. So with your full face, everything breaking out, and it could be mainly your cheeks, a little bit of your chin, a little bit of your forehead, but you're finding that you're breaking out in those different areas. It doesn't have to be acne, but when you're getting these little breakouts here and there, and it's all through the face, you don't have like one specific area, then this is where you have to start adding the high fibrous foods. Now this is where you start really focusing in on the organic fruits and vegetables. And as you know, those are the higher end, more expensive. But the reason why they are is because it takes longer to grow them. They are not, they're produced in soil that has not been used over and over again. And so you're going to have higher nutrition in there. And then without the extra pesticides, the real extreme ones that are just on the regular fruits and vegetables that aren't organic, your body will not have to deal with that, the toxins that come with the regular fruits and vegetables. So if you're dealing with this, you to correct this and to really start working on that area, is the organic fruits and vegetables are a must to get that cleared up. And sometimes you can reset your body and be able to implement certain foods, but you want to be really careful. Probiotic food is important because that's what's going to help keep the yeast in there that helps really support with the digestion. That's going to help keep everything balanced. So you're going to get that with yogurt, sauerkraut. Now sauerkraut is really good. My family that I married into, my husband's family, they are German, and so they use a lot of sauerkraut, and oh my gosh, that's really good. But not everybody likes sauerkraut. And then pickles are really good. Dark chocolate. You just have to be careful how much dark chocolate you have, because that's something that can kind of throw you off. Because, you know, I mean, when you're getting good stuff, sometimes you just don't want to overdo it. So that's really important. How to use this is add stuff in your salad that has to do with a lot of different vegetables and fruits. Kale is really, really good for you. Saute it with the meat. You know, do some garlic in there and some olive oil, and then put some meat in there. Your lifestyle for this one, I was thinking about this morning, because I was thinking about how you can calm your body, calm your digestive tract. And what happens is, if you add yoga, yoga does so many things. But the reason why I picked that for the larger intestine is there's a lot of twisting and a lot of work with the lower digestive tract to help your system move. Yoga also calms your system. So if you're calming your system, then the digestive tract will not wrench and squeeze and tighten through the emotional stress, but it will be relaxed, and your system will start working in very regular, natural ways that it should. And these tips that I gave you today, which we're going to recap here, is are really basic stuff. And through this, you even have a master grocery list of certain things that you're dealing with, and you can go out and get these foods right away. And it's basic stuff that you can go to any store, and that's what it's all about, is the lifestyle and the food shift that you need to do. So I'm going to come up onto here real quick. We're going to go with the first tip. We are dealing with kidneys under the eyes, with losing hair. If your elasticity in your skin is loose, then you really want to look in on having foods that have red bell peppers, garlic, onions, apples, berries, apple cider vinegar. Focus on the breathing. Allow your body to relax. Allow yourself to take those moments. How you're going to implement that is put a timer. Do it 3 times a day. Add a timer to your schedule so that you stop and you take those breaths. Listen to your body. Chin breakouts. This is where you are dealing with extra fatty deposits that are happening in your body. You're dealing with hormonal issues. And when that starts happening, you want to take charge on that inflammation. Let's add ginger. You have your sassy water, and start making your dressings. Ginger in your marinade, get the ginger in there. Sassy water is wonderful and easy to drink. Increase your cardiovascular, because that's what you want to do. That was your second tip. Let's get the metabolism going. Full face breakouts is related with your large intestine. A lot of it has to do just that your system is not doing well. There's just like this kind of this undercurrent of stress. And when your body is dealing with the aggravation, sometimes we're a high intense person and we become constipated. Well, you want to take care of that with high fibrous foods. Eat organic fruits and vegetables. Reset your body that way. Deal with your probiotic foods. You want your yogurt, sauerkraut, pickles, dark chocolate. Again, you're doing this modification. Avoid dairy, milk products. Milk products don't have fiber to it. If your body's not digesting it, this is going to sit in there. You are also not going to absorb the calcium. So I just had a discussion with one of my clients talking about that they cannot have dairy products and how terrible that is because they don't get, the calcium. So you have to be really aware that there's other ways to get calcium besides the dairy and the milk products. And you'll find as you go on that you'll find other ways that you can get your dairy, get your calcium. And again, if your body's not digesting it, it just kind of usually sits in your body and it's not doing anything good for your body, and it can really affect your bloat factor, which is going to affect your metabolism. Okay, so all these tips that I gave you, I want to talk to you about how you can work with me, because this is another area that I'm really excited about. I have a beta launch. It's called Fit Camp. It's 2 days of really intense coaching. And in this coaching, you know that you're ready if you're ready to lose weight and you have like some personal weight loss plan. And you don't have one yet, but you're trying to figure out what's happening with your body. Well, I want you to add the 3 steps that I gave you today. But you can work with me right now, starting with having 24 hours to decide if this is going to work for you. So today's the 22nd. If you need some time to think about it, you can wait till tomorrow, till 1 p.m. Pacific time. Again, it's $49.97, usually $297. Again, for 24 hours. It's a virtual workshop where it's intense. You're going to learn about how to lose your weight, and you're going to be learning stuff that I just taught you today. We're going to even go more in depth, really look at your body, but it's also focusing on your mental sabotages. It's time to get it lined up. It relaxes your hormones through the weekend. You're going to be eating a really clean diet, because as soon as you opt in to the Fit Camp, you get a master grocery list. You get recipes. In here, you're going to click on this. You're going to get your food workbook, and in there is your master grocery list, and you're going to make and prep your food. The first session is May 30th, but you're going to see when you come into rhondaliebig.com, Fit Camp, beta stage, that there's other weekends. It's threaded throughout the year. But if you want to jump in and work with me right away, you can jump into it right now, or you can invest today and for that pricing, because after this I'm not going to have the pricing that low again, and that's just because it's a beta launch. And so you can get something in November if you want. So again, go to the website, check it out. But another thing that you're getting here is you get a checkoff list, so you kind of see what the whole weekend's about, because it guides you in the information, the stuff that you need to get yourself ready for the weekend. 2 days again. It's the first one that is coming out is the 31st of this month, and then June 1st, getting ready right for the vacation time. Along with that, you get my professional video. It's called Muscle Yoga. So it's yoga blended with weights, and you get that right away, and you can start working out with me. But also, you're going to be working out that Saturday and Sunday that you're with me during Fit Camp. So again, the Fit Camp is you're eating really healthy. It's going to give you that high fiber. It's going to calm your hormones. You will feel relaxed. We're going to focus in. I have some workbooks that I've built from the experience of working with my clients over 15 years. We're going to deal with mental sabotages. You're going to have a hot seat of coaching where you can step in, and physically you and I get to look at each other and talk, and it's all virtual, but it's very, very personable. You're also going to be building your own personal meal plan based on what you have learned through the weekend, because the examples that you got today is how I work with you through Fit Camp. And this is a special kind of service that I do, because for the health coaching that you're with me, or anything related with the other services I don't do extreme focus like I do in these 2 days. In these 2 days is a jump start. It's a jump start because you are so focused on yourself, really unraveling things. You're ready to burn your fat fast. through eating. You're ready for your life balance. This is for you if you feel like you are ready to make changes towards better health and balance in your life. And these are really important steps that you need to be looking for if this fit camp is for you. That you're excited, enthusiastic, ready to step into a new way of thinking, to shift your day for success and leave the mental sabotages behind. So those mental sabotages that we're going to be working on the 2 days that you're with me in fit camp, it's all about focusing in on the questions and the interaction. The way I'm coaching you is that you realize that you're carrying stuff on in your 5-year-old child, things that maybe we thought were, was that somebody was being mean to us or somebody said something. We might have misinterpreted, and we may know that now, but it plays a big role in the way that we interact with people and how we are relaxed with who we are. And so by the time you're done with that weekend, you're going to have a really big mental shift. It's going to feel, what I've heard from other people and how I feel when I'm getting coached also, is this little shaking inside, like, oh my gosh, I'm making this change and this is really new to me. You're going to be getting those ahas throughout the 2 days you're with me. Also, that you're looking for support. This weekend is for you if you're ready to move in your health journey, ready to stretch you're mentally stretching. And then you're also with your future possibilities. This is important because when you first stepped into this webinar, you may have had that feeling that I don't know why I'm here except I'm not feeling good, but I don't even feel like I have the time to implement anything new. Well, through those 3 stages we talked about today, and talking about how you sometimes our minds can restrict us and tell us we can only do so much. Now that is a sabotage, and that's really important to be aware of. That is that we get to choose what works for us in our family situation and our personal self. And so it's taking charge, and it's finding out why you may interact and feel like you're always busy, because most of the time we are extremely busy. But there's times we have some lulls in our mind. We still feel like we're not handling things well. So in the 2 days that you're with me, you're going to find that your life is going to look more in control, and you're going to feel more relaxed about your future possibilities. So if you feel like in your family that in my family I have these things that happen, and so this is just going to happen to me. Let's say like a heart condition. Well, you can't change your genetics to where it may never happen, because we're going to age and things are going to happen. But if you know you have certain genetics and things happen for the men and the women throughout, maybe even both sides of your family, and you think, okay, well, I'm going to have, some heart condition. What I want you to think about and get your mind shift is that you have control right now to make those changes. So look at the way that your family interacts and how things are happening in maybe on your mom's side or your dad's side of the family. Are they really high-strung, high-stress people? Or do they have a really poor diet? And then genetically, you're in your family, your body is your body and your family's body. The body's the way that it usually works out is that they have this certain health condition. So I want you to get that mind shift change, that if you make changes right now, there's going to be some wonderful, beautiful possibilities of igniting your metabolism, of feeling like you can handle more things through the day because you feel more balanced. So you have to have that mindset that I'm ready to step into fit camp because I'm ready to mentally stretch and I'm ready to take more charge in my day. I have a client that always, every single day, she's very, very stressed. And so at one point we got her very focused and really feeling more balanced. And as things got busier and busier, she went right back to her old sabotages of like, I have no time for anything again. So if this is who you are, this is okay right now, but I want you to hold yourself accountable in what is making you feel like that all the time, because again, it goes back to how we were raised and how we interact with other people, and that we're busier than so and so. So you're always one up in somebody. Or if you know somebody like that, so that happens, sometimes. So You want to be aware of that, but this is the stuff that you're going to learn in Fit Camp, how to get that all cleared out, or starting to get that jump start. Also, you're ready to work with the coach, because to work with me is that you are ready for that new school way of health, and you're just fully in, ready just to take charge and move forward. That is, okay, I'm ready to work with a coach, which would be me. And you're also ready to jump into action to get to your #1 goal. I said goals, but really, if you focus on your #1 goal, you're going to have your extreme focus, laser focus, and it's really going to help get you to your end point here. So I want you to get to rhondaliebig.com/FitCamp Beta-Stage. So there's a hyphen in between each word, Fit Camp Beta-Stage. We're going to get you focused. We're going to bring you into having higher productive days, because you're going to have more energy. You're going to accomplish your tasks and goals, get it done, calm the cortisol, remember the hormone we talked about, so that you can lose weight. So you're going to use my 3 steps I gave you today, and you're going to go into Fit Camp if you feel this is for you, and we're going to even get you deeper into your process. You're going to find natural ways to boost your energy so that everything comes in line. You're going to learn how to lose weight fast. If you're a person that has some undercurrent things that have been going on, or that it runs in your family where you have some things where you're bloated consistently, or the scale's not shifting for you, your journey is going to be a little bit harder. But what it really comes down to is learning about how to eat for your body and just 100% going for it. 100%. That you're clearing the sabotage, and you are stepping right into there. By the time you're done with this Fit Camp, your 2-day jump start, you are going to have the menu that's going to work for you right then. Because in your workbook, you're going to be building this master grocery list that is personally working for you. So I invite you in to the Fit Camp Beta launch. It's only $49.97. Incredible. 2 days of an extreme makeover for you, and not even having to go anywhere but the comfort of your own home. If you have a family, then have them go out and do something, or have them just know, I am focusing in on my workout, on clearing out the clutter in my mind, and eating good, and you are going to be feeling spectacular. So you have 24 hours to really get in there and think about this. But again, in 24 hours, it's going to go up to the regular price of $297. Okay, so I really appreciate your time with me. I'm going to leave you with this from Maria. She's located in California, since I have clients throughout the United States. Rhonda is a dedicated, reliable, knowledgeable professional who is genuinely in touch with each of her clients and their individual goals. Rhonda truly makes a connection with each of her clients. Rhonda strives to make healthy changes fun. She shares healthy recipes with knowledge behind the foods and why the specific food benefits our body. Wow, Maria, thank you. So get in there, get your Fit Camp virtual seat, get your workout right away. Normally it is $9.99. You get it right as part of this. So normally it's that price, but you're getting along with it with the $49.97. So really, you're just paying $40 for 2 days of intense change. So let's add those tips. Get the surefire, just metabolism, ignite it. And I can't wait to see you again. And I'll catch up with you on social media. I have also another video that's coming out in my Mind, Body, Soul series. I want you to be participating and listening to those videos and taking those tips that I give you, because there's so much great information I'm giving to you, and I want you to really focus in on the new school way of health, and you're going to ignite that metabolism. I want to hear from you. Did you get changes within 2 days after the tips I gave you? Did you get changes within a week? If you did not, I truly want to hear from you, because I want to know more about what's going on with you. So the great way to tell me what's happening is that you're going to listen to my Mind, Body, Soul series, and you're going to make sure that you put some comments down there and tell me how you're feeling. And I really appreciate your time, and I love that you're with me. You have a fit day, and I'll catch up with you soon.